Hello peeps and welcome back to yet another Baldur's Gate 3 video here on this channel. You guys should know by now that this game has a stranglehold on me. It is all I can think about since the last panel from hell, and it's literally all I want to play. But since we can't get our hands on it till August 3rd, in the meantime, I just want to talk to you guys about it as much as possible, which is why we have so many Baldur's Gate 3 videos on the channel recently. But when the final release does eventually come, the Let's Play on this channel is going to be our longest ever series by a long shot, and hopefully by then we've built up a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 and D&D fans that will also join us on that journey. So today's video is going to be a top 5 features and aspects that I am most looking forward to come full release, based off everything we know so far, of course. Let me know in the comments down below what features you're most excited for and see if it's on my list as well, or if you find other reasons that I have not included on this list, maybe I can also include them and I can also be excited for them as well in the comments with you. So to kick us off at number 5 is actually something that is up in the air at the moment. So at the latest panel from hell, we got informed that us PC users would get the game 72 hours early to start Act 1, and those saves would continue to the full release on August 3rd. It's now currently a confused topic on the forums and subreddit, as Larian seemingly going back on that statement, and we may have to wait for the initial release of August 3rd. There's been some confusion as to whether or not we are actually getting these 72 hours early access, as some of the community update has been edited to remove that portion. So now some people are thinking, are we actually getting that early access, or are we just waiting until August 3rd? On Twitter, Cromwell, who is a director of publishing at Larian Studios, did tweet out in a reply saying it's going to be clarified in the upcoming community update. So at the time of me recording this, the community post has not been released yet, of course, but if it has by the time you're watching this video, you will know now if we indeed will be able to get that juicy 72-hour early access to BG3, or if we'll be waiting till August 3rd. Here's hoping we do get it, but of course, I mean, I've waited 6 years for this game now. I can manage until August 3rd, I think. It's been tough. It's been very tough, but as long as the full release doesn't get pushed back at all anymore, as long as they stick with August 3rd, even if we don't have the 72 hours early access, which of course we all want, we'll be fine with August 3rd, but we shall see in an upcoming community post. Again, by now, you guys might know, so leave a comment down below if we are actually getting it 72 hours early or not. If I know, or if the community post does come out obviously after I upload this video, I'll probably make a comment down below just to let you guys know, hey, we are in fact getting it 72 hours early, or we are actually not. Moving on to number 4, and it's something that we got introduced to in early access, but not to the full extent, and that is Will. Now, Will was a character I found somewhat dull and boring. I never really recruited him into my playthroughs. I didn't really feel that his story was as exciting as some of the others. So you may be wondering, well, why is he on the list of a feature that you're looking forward to if you didn't like him in early access? Well, at the panel from hell, they spoke in some depth actually about Will and his story. They said that they felt a similar way that I explained, in that his story is not as involved as others, it's not as exciting as others, and they thought that they could go in a different direction with it. They stated that they've completely reworked the Will story, from things like how we meet him and where he goes after, and how we recruit him and stuff like that. They've completely reworked his story, and that to me is so exciting, because on my very first playthrough of early access, when I met Will, I thought he looked like an awesome character. He has the look, he has the voice, he has the attitude, but I just didn't really feel like they went in depth with him. I didn't really feel that connection to him like I did with Lizelle and Shadowheart and Gale and some others. So I was quite disappointed that I never really recruited him into my party, because I just didn't really care about his story. So this to me is such a welcome thought process, as I think he has the potential to be one of my favorite companions. Like I said, I think he looks incredible, and if they give him a great rework and they give him an intriguing story, which by the sounds of it they plan to do, I think Will be a fan. I mean, I think he's already up there with a fan favorite, but I think he could be even more of a fan favorite with common players, as I just think the way you introduced to Will, it didn't really hook me. So I'm really excited to see what they have planned, how you meet him, how he acts, where his story goes, and how we learn more about Will through our journey. I'm excited to notice these changes as well in Act 1 that we've played many times already, but some of the Act 1 they said are going to be changed and tweaked for full release. So it gives us that familiarity of we know this area, we know what's supposed to happen. Oh wait, a breath of fresh air, something a little bit different is happening. So you understand a bit of what's going on, but then there's still some of these new features that you're being introduced to in Act 1 as well. I think that's also going to be an awesome feature, a little side note, of being somewhat knowledgeable about the area, but then these little new things come up and you go, oh wait, I noticed this, but it's different to what I played in early access. And I think little moments like that are going to be incredible. Number 3 on the list is an evolve point from number 4, really, and that is the origin characters in general. So not just Will, but all of the origin characters. The option to play as these origin characters and fully feel their stories play out as themselves is a really intriguing and exciting prospect. Sure, I think that the majority will prefer to play as their own character, especially in their first playthrough, which is what I'm going to be doing, but the replayability of BG3 expands so much with the options to control all of these different characters and get special looks into their lives through their very eyes. See and feel these unseen dialogues and emotions as we trench through the world in their shoes, seeing how one is entirely different to the other. Also, being able to play these characters that we have, grown to love through early access gives us that freedom to make choices for them that they otherwise wouldn't usually make on your regular playthrough when they're just a companion following you along the journey. Now you are in their shoes, you are in control, and we can get a behind-the-scenes look of how they think, what they see, and where they are going. A breath of fresh air to, have these control over these characters that usually they're just by our side following us through the world. Now they become the focal point, unlocking a new sense and feel to the game entirely as you progress down their altered routes versus what you usually would accomplish. Let me know in the comments down below, which origin character are you most excited to play? Which origin will be your first one that you play? And I think a new one, which is the Dark Urge, will be a lot of people's higher options. We're going to talk about him or her a little bit later, though. Second place, my lucky number. It was very close. This was actually originally my first most look forward to feature of Baldur's Gate 3, but at the very last second before recording this video, I changed it to number 2, and that is our scaly little boy, the Dragonborn. I think so many people, I think this is like the most excited and looked forward to new race in Baldur's Gate 3. It's really, especially in the subreddit, making the half-orc and the dwerger just seem like they didn't even get included, as everyone and their mothers are talking about the Dragonborn. Now, this is actually the race that we're going to be playing through for our first playthrough, which, I mean, it's going to be our longest ever series on this channel. It's going to span years on this channel because this game is so long. We're going to do multiple playthroughs and mods and everything. I can't wait for this game. But our first ever playthrough on the full release is going to be a Dragonborn. And I think a lot of people are also gonna go Dragonborn. Always loved Dragonborn in D&D, and I was so hopeful and excited when Larian announced that they would be playable. The level of detail, the work, and the commitment to make them look as amazing as they do look is astounding. These creatures are furthest from human, and it really shows how difficult it must have been to fine-tune and make them look as good as they have done. On the panel from Hell, I was blown away by seeing how the detail on their face and their bodies just stand out compared to some of the other races. They look insane. To be a Dragonborn, they've also added a new playable origin character, which we just spoke about, which is the Dark Urge, who is a Dragonborn himself, but he looks just, or she, they look just as amazing as a custom Dragonborn, and I can't wait to see the world through the eyes of someone so demonic and downright evil based on just a sneak peek that we got of them. There's a Dark Urge inside you, forcing you to do these things. It looks insane. Overall, the Dragonborn race is something that I think many players will be welcome with open arms and will use as their first race come full release. The options for the customization as well looked absolutely incredible. To fine-tune your Dragonborn based on all the colors and the features that you can add to them looked incredible. And hopefully, I'm really excited to see other Dragonborn, hopefully throughout the world on our journey, to see how they interact with ourselves, with the companions, and just with the world around them. I've always loved Dragonborn. It's like this little weird, they've always been my favorite race, and I wanted them in Baldur's Gate 3 so bad. And as soon as I saw them get announced, I was like, this is what I'm doing for my first playthrough. I can't wait. And that brings us to number 1 on the list then. Ladies and gentlemen, the thing that I am excited for the most, and that is, quite simply, the world. The depth, scale, and immersion that we saw just from the little glimpses dropped my jaw, ladies and gentlemen. All of these different creatures walking around Baldur's Gate to an interactive newspaper article that changes depending on your actions throughout your journey, to all of the sounds, the hustle and bustle. I was blown away. Now, obviously, the location that I'm most excited for out of the entire world is Baldur's Gate. I mean, entering Baldur's Gate for the first time in all of these years, it's going to be breathtaking. I'm just going to stand there and take it all in, because the sneak peek that we got of it, oh man, I mean, it's different. It's so different. Everything is leading us up to entering Baldur's Gate. That's where the journey is pushing us. And we saw a few different locations in the gameplay footage, and each area looked vastly different to the last. Everywhere is thriving, whether with life and sounds and excitement, or with dread, shadows, and fearfulness. The locations we are going to venture forth into will be remembered for a long time. The level of detailing, the thought process that I've gone through each and every location. And that's only the ones that we've seen, of course. There's a plethora of locations that we don't even know that we're going to be venturing into in our journeys, which are going to take us by surprise the first time we enter them. That first moment, they're going to be like core memories. When you first enter a new location that you've never been to before, you don't know what to expect, that is going to be the feeling that I want to remember for a long time. Early access, I was already blown away with the small places, like when you walk into the Goblin Village for the first time, or the Hag Swamp, or even in early access. Entering these different locations, I was so blown away. And in the full release, it just, based on what we've seen, it feels like they're just going to be exponentially bigger, louder, more involved, more immersive. It's so exciting to me. Just exploring the world, not even on missions, just walking around, seeing how you can interact with different people and different items and objects. I can't wait. Stepping into Baldur's Gate for the first time in years is going to take so many players' breath away, just standing there, taking it all in. It's going to be insane. Walking around, talking to the locals, hearing the hustle and bustle, the music, the vendors, the newspaper article, which looked insane. Larian Studios, they've outdone themselves. The thing I'm looking forward to most in the entire game is simply exploring the beautiful world that Larian has crafted for us after all of these years. It is gonna be magical. And that is my list, ladies and gentlemen, of my top 5 features that I'm very excited for. Don't get me wrong, there are many more features that I simply can't wait for, but these are the 5 that I felt like we could go into most detail about, and these are the 5 that came to my head when I just asked myself, what are you most excited for? These are the 5 that came to mind first. I'm excited to hear what you guys all are looking forward to in the comments down below, and hopefully you will join me on our journey come full release on this channel. One of my favorite things to do is, as you're playing a game, also be watching someone else play the game. I used to do that so much on YouTube, and I think Baldur's Gate is such a good example of you know, being able to do that, because there's so many different options and races and classes and locations and routes. I think the replayability is going to be amazing, and seeing you guys play your game as I'm playing mine will be incredible. We do have a Discord link in the description. I'm going to make a Baldur's Gate 3 channel in the Discord where everyone can join and talk about their own Baldur's Gate 3 experiences and journeys. And hey, if you find other people that want to play Baldur's Gate 3 with you from our Discord, we can also make a mic channel as well where you can join with your party and have some co-op fun. I would love to play online with you guys. I think that would be awesome. So again, if you want to join our Discord, link in the description, just let me know and we can get some fun going. If you are excited for Baldur's Gate 3 as I am, smash the like button and subscribe with the bell turned on so you don't miss any BG3 content coming your way in the future. This game is all I can think about right now, so expect many more videos over the coming years as I've waited way too long for this game to be released. The past few Baldur's Gate videos have done amazing. It's made me so happy seeing new Baldur's Gate 3 fans come onto this channel, leave likes, subscribe, leave comments, and just show their excitement for something I'm so passionate about. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been How2V, also known as Readers Kid. Much of as always, take care, happy adventuring, and peace.